Well, we know that eating together as a family is very important. It can improve academic performance, decrease risky behaviors in kids, and as always, it means better nutrition. And since September is National Family Meals Month, we have registered dietitian Dr. Elizabeth Hall with us, partnering with the Dairy Alliance to give us 3 tips on how we can enjoy more meals together as a family. And I think that's so important.
It is so important. And National Family Meals Month is always one of my favorite months. I can't believe it's already September again, and we're celebrating again, but this seems to be something that we always kind of have to stay on top of, right? Because we'll get into a rut and then it's kind of hard to break that cycle. And so I have some tips for you today to hopefully serve those balanced meals to your families and enjoy that time around the dinner table.
I always love this because it's a good push to get us back into the routine, because now school is starting to get a routine again, so we're trying really hard, but all those athletics and those practices are causing a little chaos.
Yes, for sure, and this is definitely timely, right? So my first tip is to make a plan, and I know that's easier said than done. You know, a lot of times we have the best intentions for our plan, and it doesn't always maybe pan out the way we thought, and that's okay, but having those healthful meal ideas on hand can really help you make sure you get that meal on the table in no time. And it doesn't even have to be the dinner meal. Like, we're gonna make a breakfast recipe today, and this is something that's really important to me because growing up my dad actually worked nights, so our meal together would be when he got home from work in the mornings.
So breakfast was a big deal.
Breakfast was our meal together. Yeah, so this was really special as I was planning this today, and this is a delicious recipe. Of course, we're trying to make sure we're getting all those food groups into our recipe, right? So think about my plate. I have a little picture up here. So when you're making your plan, kind of visualize that to make sure you're getting all those food groups in. Half the plate fruits and vegetables, some protein in there, some grains, and then of course our dairy is up there on the side. So that could be milk, it could be yogurt, kefir. I know we were talking about that before the segment. Maybe not for everyone, but that's okay. It's a texture thing, right?
If you like it though, boy, this is a powerful, you know, just
lots of probiotics and, you know, a really easy way to get that dairy in, and also cheese would count. And of course we're big cheese lovers, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so our recipe that we're making, you actually throw it all in the crock pot. So super easy to do. This is called an ancient grain hot cereal recipe. You can go to thedairyyalliance.com to find the recipe. Really easy. It smelled so good as it was cooking last night. So my grains I have are some steel cut oats, and this is just oats that haven't been pressed and rolled. So you want to look for these because they're higher in fiber. It's going to be a little bit less processed, so having all those nutrients in there, which are very important. Also have some quinoa. So,
really?
Yes.
Look
so
at you.
Quinoa for breakfast. Who knew? But this is actually a complete protein, so if you're a vegetarian looking for sources of protein, this is a great option for you. So you're adding that in, and of course you can make this recipe. The recipe online is actually for 14 servings, so I'm like paring it down a little bit today. But depending on, you know, if you want to save it for later, that's a great thing to do too. I just added my milk, and this is, I think it was like 8 cups of milk in the original recipe. So I know if you're like me and you have a bunch of milk on hand that maybe you didn't drink, this is a great recipe to kind of use up that milk before it spoils. A little bit of water is going to go in here too, and then I have some flaxseed. That is going to be a fat, so we're getting those healthy fats in there. I know fat wasn't on the plate that I just showed you, but it's kind of assumed. Yeah, you're going to use a little bit of that for flavor, and also for those healthy fats are important for brain health and all that good stuff. A little bit of sweetener, whatever you want. I have some brown sugar here. You could use 100% maple syrup. You could not add the sugar, whatever you'd like to do, and a little bit of butter. And it's that simple. Put the lid on, let it cook on low for about 6 hours for the whole recipe. I let mine do about half because I have to the recipe, but it's really easy. It's going to be ready for you in the morning. And talk about making a plan and prepping. You know, you've done everything the night before and it's ready to go the next day.
Awesome. And if you had extras, you could just store it in the fridge and warm it up through the week?
Definitely. You can even add a little bit more milk to get that consistency that you like. So really easy to do, and hopefully it gets you around the dinner table.
All right. Well, it is the Dairy Alliance. If you would like more information and more recipes, you can check out their website. When we come back, we're going to be making a little pasta as well. Dr. Hall, always great to have you on the show.
Thanks for being here. I'm glad to be here.
Yay. We'll be right back.